Hello, everyone. This is Daisy again, Business Development Manager from MedicFX. As you might recall, I mentioned to you from our last episode that I don't have medical background experience, so we're all in for the ride as I learn alongside you. Pete demonstrated our MW812 wound packing task trainers. And today, for our second weekly episode, I'm so excited that Pete will be showing us another cool product. So, Pete, what have we got here?
Today, I'm going to be talking to you about some of our wound sleeves. These are excellent ways to give a little bit of extra realism in either your standardized patient or on your mannequin. It's a real quick way of getting some really very realistic looking moulage really quickly. The ones that we're going to be talking to you guys about today is the MT005, which is an open wrist fracture. We've also got an open wound, which is the MT032, and a broken tibia, which is MT006. Even though it does say tibia on it, you can still use it as a compound fracture for an arm. So today we're going to be demonstrating on Julian's arm. So if you give me a moment, I'm just going to move the camera around so you can see our wonderful model. All right, so first of all, I'm going to start off with the open wrist fracture. As you can see on here, it comes as a larger piece of silicon with the bone already embedded for you, so it's representing the compound fracture. The bone itself is actually silicon, so it is squishy, so there's no risk of harming either your participants or your standardized patients. On the back here, we've just got this shaped piece of Velcro backing, so these are all Velcro attached to our either participants or mannequins. So they come with this lovely backing sheet as well, which is a really good way of storing them after you finish using them. So you just put this silicon model back on the backing sheet after you're finished. So it all comes wrapped up in one. Jules, if I could borrow your arm, that'd be great. Yeah, borrow my arm. All right. So these are very easy to apply, and with a really good bit of moulage, they'll look excellent after you're done. So as much blood and gore as you like to put on there. So just going to lay it over and attach the edge. So each of these edges here have just got Velcro on them. So, right, if you wouldn't mind, Jules, sorry, we'll keep. So there we go. That's the wound applied. So
Okay.
obviously they are very stretchy. The Velcro backing is also quite stretchy as well. So they will fit various different mannequins or various different arm shapes for your standardized patients. And as I said before, with really good moulage, you really don't need a lot. It's a case of slapping on some fake blood and maybe a little bit of blood clot and perhaps a little bit of glycerol just to give it that sheen, and maybe
Okay.
some dirt as well if that's the scenario. Yeah, these are really quick ways to moulage very large, very impressive and realistic looking wounds. So yeah, have you got any questions on that, Daisy?
Yeah, well, who is this product perfect for, Pete?
So the perfect people for these kind of wound sleeves would be sort of if you're looking at emulating pre-hospital care, and even if you wanted to do an operating room scenario. These are excellent, quick ways of doing moulage if you're really pressed for time. So for big simulation centers that have a lot of participants coming through, and you don't have time to really concentrate on really in-depth, really detailed moulage, this is a really quick way of getting that same effect, but with very minimal effort. Yeah, so that was kind of the audience that we're looking for here, is with regards to the people that would be utilizing these. So simulation centers, particularly looking at pre-hospital care and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right, that's great. Now I'm excited to the second one. The broken tibia trauma. Can you demonstrate that? The
Yeah, sure.
MT006. Let's
Yeah,
see.
no problem. We'll just get that for you now. Cool. So this is the broken tibia. As I said before, even though it does say tibia, you can still use it for a compound fracture on your arm rather than your leg. So if I can borrow your arm again. Sweet. So again, just making sure obviously you've got the decent position for where the bone would be protruding from. Making sure you get the Velcro backing the right way around.
Okay.
There we are. Easy as that.
Easy. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a real simple, easy way of getting such a large wound on your participant for your participants to look at and to treat. Some of the other things that you can do, particularly as this is a tibia wound, if your standardized patient's wearing socks, for example, you can roll the sock up so that you can't see the join.
Yes.
You can't see the join around where this is. You can also blend in using various moulage products, some of the edges of the product itself as well, so it looks a lot more realistic.
You can also like wear any accessories there, like watch, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll demonstrate on the next one for you with the watch.
Awesome. Okay.
So this is the MT032. So again, it's a smaller sized piece of silicon than the last two that we've used. So slightly raised wound. It's a pretty horrible looking wound, and again with some really good moulage in there, that'll give your participants something that it really pops out and goes, okay, that's the problem. That's what I need to sort. So if I can borrow your arm again, right? So this time I'm just going to pop it a little bit further down on Julian's wrist here, so that we can demonstrate the sort of some of the ways in which you can camouflage some of these wounds by adding a few things like a watch. So popping a
Okay.
watch on the wrist here. So we pop that just around here, so that yeah, there we go. And obviously you don't want to get the watch too messy, particularly if it's your standardized patient's own jewelry. But yeah, so yeah, just obviously smoothing things out so it doesn't look quite so fake. And then obviously you can have a shirt on down to about here as well, which will hide the top part of the moulage. So yeah, it's a really
All
quick,
right.
really easy way of getting a really decent wound.
Wow, great. Well, Pete, another question. What makes our product different from the other models in the marketplace?
I would say it was definitely the realism of how these look.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah, so
shows.
the realism on the particularly myself, having seen some of our products being used in simulation, it really helps with that participant buy-in, which is really, really important. You're not just looking at a cut on a piece of plastic or, just some cling film that's got blood underneath it. You're actually looking at a real wound. A lot of time
Right.
and effort's been put into replicating real wounds that have been researched.
All
Yes.
right.
So these do emulate wounds, some of the real life wounds, very, very well. So yeah.
Yes, and Pete, like our first product, the wound packing test trainers, these products it's also reusable, right?
Yeah, so as you've said, these products, as long as they're well maintained, well looked after, and cleaned after use, and stored in a cool, dry environment, and they're dry when they're put away, these can be used hundreds and hundreds of times before you even have to consider, repairing them or whatever. Any small cuts, abrasions to the actual things themselves, we do sell repair kits that we can send on, and there are instruction videos on our YouTube channel telling you how to use the repair kits as well. So yeah.
Well, this is another informative video from you, Pete. Thank you once again, and we will learn a lot. See you on our third weekly episode.
Yeah, good. No problem. Thanks, Daisy.
All right. Thank you, Pete.